Hi guys, how are you all doing? So I made a video a few weeks ago about my experience buying a property, during COVID. And sorry, just clearing my throat. In that video, I mentioned that I went through an experience with the lender and also the valuer during the process, in that they decided not to lend. And I alluded to the fact that it was quite vague as to the reasons why they decided not to lend. I mentioned that there was a valuation that the mortgage lender did, but didn't actually turn up to the property 2 and 4. And I thought it'd be useful just to update you, because I've heard subsequently from the lender as to why they didn't lend. And I had to go digging for a bit more information, but I thought it'd be very interesting and very useful for you guys just to learn a bit more about their decision-making process, because it's quite interesting, right? So I wrote down a few notes, so excuse me whilst I just refer to my book, because I wrote it down as I was listening to my broker give me the reasons for why. So let me go through them one by one and just explain them. So first of all, the first reason was that it was a non-standard construction. So by that, what he meant was, in terms of the broker when he explained it to me, was that the flat that I was looking, or am still looking to buy, I've gone with a new lender now, was non-standard in that it was a conversion from an office to a block of flats. And the explanation was that because it was, I wrote it down here, steel frame and concrete panels. So the office, in terms of what it was made out of, its materials, it had a steel frame, so that's sort of the foundations of it, and then concrete panels on the walls. And apparently that's a non-standard construction compared to normal bricks and mortar. So that was the first reason why the lender said that they didn't have appetite, right, to lend on this property. The second one was that it had a city centre location. And guys, please tell me what you think of these reasons. Give me your feedback, because I have my personal views on them, but I'm just going to read them out as they were said to me, and comment below on what you think. So the second was that it was a city centre location. So this was in the centre of Liverpool, right by the business district. And the reasoning gave was because it's a city centre location, the demographic of people who want to live in city centres tends to be, let me write this down, graduates, in the 20s and upwards bracket, so graduates from 20 to mid 30s. Again, I'm going to reserve my personal comments on this, but the rationale was given because it's that demographic. It limits the pool of people that you could potentially sell the property to when it comes to either moving out and reselling it, or in the worst case, if I wasn't paying my mortgage and the bank wanted to possess the property and sell it, they'll be limited to a smaller pool of people. Okay, and then the third one was that it was a new build property. So by new build, I think you heard me say that it was a conversion, right, from an office to a flat, and that technically, I guess in terms of their classification, is a new build, and I do see the logic for that. The rationale behind that was because it's a new build, it's a new conversion from an office to a flat. There aren't many of those around nearby, apparently, so they don't have comparables to compare the value to. So I had a certain purchase price that I offered and got accepted for on that property, and what they're saying is they don't have anything to compare that price to in the surrounding area, so they can't validate that that price is correct and valid, right? So those are the three reasons. I think what I'll do is I was going to say I won't comment on it and let you guys give your thoughts and inputs on it. Please do. But the one thing I will say is that if I was offering on this property and going through this buying process 6 months ago before COVID, wouldn't have been a problem, right? The broker even said that. However, these specific reasons, and I'm not going to mention the lender or the broker, but the feeling was that these specific reasons are linked to COVID, in that banks in general, right, they have reduced appetite to lend during COVID because it's an uncertain market and all the rest of that, right? We all know, we all see the news and what's going on. So the feeling was that if this process buying purchase was going through 6 months ago or even 4 months ago, because COVID started around about March, wouldn't have been a problem, but it is now. So those are the reasons. You'll be happy to know that I have found a new lender. I used my broker to find a new lender who's happy to lend for a slightly higher rate, interest rate. By that I mean, on the basis that appetite in general in the market is at a low in terms of well, not at a low, but is reduced in terms of mortgage lenders wanting to lend. So there are fewer lenders who are willing to lend under these current economic circumstances. So slightly higher rate, but I found a new lender via my broker. So brokers are good, guys. I highly recommend them if you're going into buy to let, especially for sort of niche developments. My development isn't niche, right? Because there's lots of office blocks that are converted to houses all across the UK. In fact, I own another house flat that's been converted to from an office block to a flat. So it's not an uncommon thing in the UK or globally. Anyway, I thought it'd be interesting just to share that with you guys. Let me know your comments and thoughts below, and I will see you very soon. Cheers, guys.